Worldwide movement, peace, love, respect. Big King Sadiq hollering at you one more again. All right, everybody, thank you for checking me out yet again. Please help me to continue to grow this channel and to grow the beautiful message delivered by the worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. All right, another quick one. I'm trying to get in the habit of being more succinct and trying to avoid being cut off here. So this one is entitled, You Will Need, or rather, to connect the dots, you will need the following. All right. You will need mainstream science, right? We're not saying that every single thing about science is wrong, folks. It's certainly not. And there are a great deal of the disciplines, the aspects of mainstream science that you will need to lean on in order to decode all of this, what's happening on the planet, right? All right. You will also need anthropology, right? Much of this has to do with us studying ourselves and our time on this planet and what has happened to us on this planet and the things that we've done on this planet. So certainly you are going to need that particular discipline or area of study. You're going to also need quantum sciences, quantum biology, most certainly. You're going to need to understand at least a little bit about quantum entanglement, just a little, and some other aspects of quantum mechanics, right? And try and understand how our biosphere, our electromagnetic biosphere, interacts with the quantum field, right? And the true profundity of that. You're going to also need linguistics. As much of the things we are studying are hidden, right? Buried within languages. And when I say hidden or buried within languages, I mean linguistically you need to go back and actually study the words themselves, right? Study the etymology of the words, study what was happening, or be at least aware of what was happening on the planet, that the word was, or phrase or group of words was first being used or introduced as a way to express a particular thought, theme, concept, etc. You're going to most certainly need socio-political sciences, right? To understand the worldwide systems that have been in place, and particularly how they're implemented here in this country, and all the different things that have been done to put those things into place. You're going to have some knowledge of the occult and know how that has played a profound role in the development of all this as well. Going all the way back from the Nazis, and in fact, much further back than that, going back to understanding what many indigenous cultures have done on this planet and have borne witness to, right? Let's see, am I forgetting some other things? There are others. I'm certain that I have not mentioned something that we're going to really need. Ufology is certainly a discipline And folks, it is not just some laughable group of quacks, right, who believe in aliens and their head spins on and off. No, there's some very, very credible individuals. There's very, very accomplished scientists and brilliant minds, physicists. There are military and civilian input on the subject. There is more trace evidence and physical evidence than you would even believe, because most people don't bother to study it. It truly gets looked over. There is a lot there, far more than the average person is aware of, and you'll need that as well. Specifically when understanding and not getting confused by all the different species or civilizations on the planet, or that have played some role in the happenings on this planet, right? All right, you are going to need some spiritual, so I would guess you will need some theological, yeah, what am I saying? You most certainly would need something of a theological background, right? In understanding the world's major religions, their origins, and their impact on man on this planet throughout the ages. Am I missing anything? Oh, maybe. Beyond just theology, I would say that even to go down this road, you're going to need a rather solid spiritual foundation, period. Because some of what you're going to uncover, in fact, much of what you're going to uncover, may be not just disturbing, but foundation shaking, right? So you really have got to be squarely rooted in yourself, in understanding self, and your relationship to our Creator, and how special and intimate that is, despite the popular assertion of most religions that you need some form of an intercessor between you and the Creator. That's not necessary, folks. In fact, it's vital that you understand that. Anything else? Let's see. There may be, I'm sure I'm leaving off some other things, but you literally will need to lean on all of these things and have these disciplines in your repertoire, so to speak, as you go down the serious rabbit hole of connecting the dots, uncovering what has happened on this planet, and deciding what your role is going forward on what will happen on this planet. And truly, that is what's most important. The past is the past. We need to be very active in manifesting and implementing what we see and or want to see the future be on this planet, because we have the control and the power to do that, despite that the majority of us are completely fooled by the socio-economic elite, who trick us into externalizing all that power to them. We need to take it back and grab hold of control of the ship, so to speak, right? All right, those are at least some or most of the disciplines that you're going to need in order to really, really be able to connect the dots on this thing and understand exactly what's going on. I'm not saying, of course, that you need to be a widely recognized scholar on any of these subjects, or that you need to necessarily go get degrees in these subjects or something like that, but you're going to need to have some solid understanding in each of them, right? Some level of understanding, which we're all capable of. You know, folks sometimes we get intimidated very easily when it comes to intellectual pursuits, or when it comes to, you know, taking on something that's going to require some thought. We get a little intimidated and, it's not for me. I'll leave that up to the science nerds or to this, to that, to that, to that. Listen, this stuff is important. And what's going on right now on the planet and has happened affects every man, woman, and child on the planet, including you and yours. So it's important that you do whatever you need to do to gain at least a little understanding on these subjects. Even if it's just, you know, opening up your mind to looking at different things on YouTube like this, right? Or whatever you can peel off a little bit of time to do. Just do that with an open mind. That's the biggest requisite in all this, is to have an open mind and to understand that you don't know what you don't know, right? And that when we go forward with an open mind that allows us to not cloud the process of discovery. One of the biggest hindrances of us on this planet truly ascending to where we need to be is we are so caught up on what we already know. And because of that, we tend to take what we already know or think we know and use it to put the things that we discover into a box that makes it easier for us to understand or comprehend whatever it is that we're discovering. But when we do that, we can often alter the true nature of the discovery itself. So we have to be very careful with the lenses through which we examine all this, to make sure that we are starting from sort of a clean slate, being as objective as we possibly can. You got to leave your emotions out of this, folks. You know, do your studying first. If you need to study some, feel whatever emotions you need to feel after that. Go back, study some more, vent your emotions, whatever you need to do, but you need to keep those two things separate, right? But yeah, this is certainly something that is doable. It is attainable by all of us. Don't let one of the things I always used to hate when I was younger, growing up in the Baptist church system, so to speak, which is likely and largely common in many religions, is that whole thing of, well, there's certain things you're not meant to understand. It's bullcrap. That's bullcrap. It didn't make sense to me as a child, and it doesn't make sense now. You know, we have that sort of wool pulled over our eyes, and have had that wool pulled over our eyes for a long time. It's not that we can't understand these things or that we shouldn't understand or inquire about these things. It's that those who are in control and who have had their hands very much touching our lives through all of the institutions that affect us on a daily basis, who would recommend and who would love for us to never uncover any of this. Don't fall for that, folks. This information, this knowledge is yours to gain. Let's just make sure we do it with an open mind, a clear perspective, and a certain degree of impartiality, right? So that what we discover is not tainted, and that we really get a clear picture of what's going on. All right? We can do that. Let's do it all together. Hey, man, I'm going to keep hitting you with these videos with more ways that we move forward and forward, because it's time to kick this thing into gear a little bit faster. So, you know, I'm going to be turning it up a bit in that regard and toward that effort. And you know what it is. You know what I'm fitting to say when it gets to the end of the video. Please help me, everybody. Like, share, subscribe, and let's continue to build what? The worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. Big King Sadiq. I'm out.